installment of the Late Night Review, and I've been waiting to do this review. I've waited to do all of them. The two that I did already. First was Red Sonja, the first episode. The second episode was Halloween. Both movies I really enjoy a lot. This one here I've really been waiting for. And when I tell you what it is, you might think, what? I know the camera, it's not crystal clear. It's an older movie, and I like a lot of, there's certain older movies I really like. It's an older movie, and it might be one that many people watching this video have never seen. I don't even know if you've heard of it before, but I like it a lot, and I've been waiting to talk about it. And it's a movie that stars one of my favorite actors and bodybuilders, Steve Reeves, and it's none other than Hercules. Hercules. I have I have it right here, and I also have part two, Hercules Unchained. If this video gets enough views, maybe in the future I'll do a review about Hercules Unchained as well. But this is a movie I really like. I mean, it's a movie that I know a lot of people might not like it, and when you watch it, you might think, huh, he really likes this? I have nostalgia for it because when I was a kid, I used to watch it. I rented the videotape when I was a kid, and Steve Reeves was one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time. I don't know why I keep holding this up. You can see here, but he's really a guy that made a mark on bodybuilding. I think he had one of the best builds of all time, and he was a major influence on Frank Zane, former bodybuilding champion, and Sylvester Stallone really liked Steve Reeves as well. Both of those guys were influenced by Steve Reeves. A lot of people were influenced by Steve Reeves. I believe Arnold Schwarzenegger was influenced by him. A lot of early bodybuilders were. And to me, he had one of the best builds of all time. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm into, if you've seen my other videos, especially my exercise videos, I've done boxing and martial arts training, and I'd like to keep my build moderate, not too big, not too small, but more like a fighter's build. But to me, Steve Reeves just had a great build. To me, not too big, not too small, not too. This is not a bodybuilding video, but it inspired me to work out. Just watching Steve Reeves, along with Arnold and other people, Van Damme, Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee, people I grew up watching, Jeff Speakman. A lot of people influenced me, just by watching their movies and watching their demonstrations, influenced me to exercise. But I'll save that for maybe an exercise video when I talk. But this video is about this movie, Hercules, and I really like Hercules. I do. I got nostalgia for it, but it's not just nostalgia. I don't want this to be misunderstood as just the only reason I like it is nostalgia. No, I like the photography, the camera. I know if you watch it, the camera's not very clear, but I like the way it's done. I like the music. It's got a charm about it because it was a different time. It was filmed a long time ago when it was a more innocent time. And when you watch it and it comes across, I mean, the atmosphere that a lot of these old movies creates is very comfortable to me. When I watch them, I like them. I'm really happy to see them. And not only do I enjoy this movie, but I feel healthy just seeing the action, Steve Reeves build, the atmosphere, the water, they use some of the ancient ruins for this movie when they're doing the movie. You can see them around these ancient ruins, and this inspired some of my art too, because I like to use columns in my art, pillars like you would see in ancient Greece and Rome, and this is ancient Greece, and it's mythological. And it's fun, and he's so strong, and I know the special effects aren't the best for sure, especially for that, even for that time they weren't that great, but I enjoy it. I think this movie's just a barrel of fun. You can make a lot of comments, and I know you can critique the acting, you can critique the how expensive maybe the camera was. They didn't have a very good camera. It's not like the Twilight Zone, even though the Twilight Zone was old and the movie The Vikings with Kirk Douglas was old. I love the Twilight Zone and I love the Vikings with Kirk Douglas. Maybe in the future, if people like these reviews that I do, I might do a review of the Vikings with Kirk Douglas, Tony Curtis, Ernest Borgnine, um, and Janet Leigh. I might do that because that's one of my favorite movies too. Richard Fleischer directed that, and he directed Red Sonja, Mr. Majestic, Tora Tora Tora, Soylent Green, and others. But tonight I'm talking about Hercules. Like I said, it's got a charm to it, and it's fun. There's pretty good action in there. The fighting is fake. Fighting isn't realistic at all. But if you want an escape, if you want just something to, have a couple hours to eat popcorn by and have a snack and just watch this and have some laughs and just a fun time, it entertains me. Nowadays, see, there's movies that are great, but they're disturbing and not entertaining at all. Fantastic movies that have been made that are totally disturbing. Some of them make you sick, certain scenes, but they're great. Like Schindler's List, a great movie, but not entertaining at all. Fantastically done. Just a wonderful movie by Steven Spielberg. Gut wrenching, sad, but it's not entertaining. There's certain horror movies that are not entertaining, but I used to watch a lot, like Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer with Michael Rooker. That movie was very disturbing, and I used to watch it a lot. Not so much anymore because I don't like movies that disturb me too much like I used to. And so there's movies that are good, but they're really disturbing, and there's other movies that aren't done very well, but they're a barrel of fun, and this is one of them. And I think it's a fun movie, and if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's charming. It has a lure about it. There's something charming about it that you kind of joke at it. Maybe you can mock it a little bit, but it's fun. There's quite a few movies like that that I like. That I don't know if I'll do videos of them. Depends on how many views I get on these, but it's one of those movies that's just fun. It's entertaining. I like how the pace is. I mean, for an old movie, it's not really that slow of a pace. It's got a pretty good pace. I like the story. I like even though the camera is not very clear, I like what they chose to shoot. How they chose some of those scenes to shoot some of the ancient ruins, some of the scenes by the ocean, the water, and the lighting. I thought they did a good job with the lighting. There's a couple scenes there where there's a young lady having a dream and you can see the blue sky, like dark blue at night, but for some reason it's dark blue instead of black, but it's dark blue, the sky. You can see the silhouette of the plants and some of the pillars, and that's, to me, that's artistic, and I enjoyed that. So if you haven't seen it, Hercules with Steve Reeves. It was, I believe it was 1959. It says here, 1959. Classic to me. I enjoy it. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. This has been the Late Night Review. Hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, have a good night.